figured that my peers and the school had spoken for a final time. And that if they truly did not want me to represent them, that I shouldn't try again. I decided to apply for an Edith Hamilton scholarship, something I had been looking forward to for a long time. The idea I proposed was to study the most popular songs of each decade to generate a list of reasons why songs become enduringly popular. I prepared my application, knowing how excited and passionate I was about the topic. I thought my interview with the committee went pretty well, and for the first time, I felt confident in my endeavors at applying or running for something. Late at night, a couple days after the interview, I received an email saying, and I quote, after reviewing the 20 applications, the advisory committee for the Edith Hamilton Scholars Program has selected the scholars for the 2009-2010 academic year, and we are not able to offer you a place in the program. This is when I hit rock bottom. I had now been rejected not only by my peers and fellow students, but also by my teachers and educators. I will admit that night, for the first time in my life, I cried myself to sleep. Thanks. It was definitely a very low point for me. This failure was the icing on the cake, and it was almost too difficult for me to handle. Soon after the results for the Edith Hamiltons were announced, the juniors had a class meeting during which we were to receive our convocation dates. Despite all of my recent failures, I tried to stay positive, and the one good thing I could come up with about being rejected for an Edith Hamilton was that I got to give a convocation on the topic of my choice, something, as I said before, I had been looking forward to for a really long time. I tried to get myself excited for picking the perfect date to give it, even though, truthfully, I was still upset. Let me explain the process of selecting convocation dates. We all sat in Centennial Hall as our chief advisor drew names one by one out of a hat. As your name was called, you were to go and join the line at the foot of the stage. When it was your turn, you would walk up to one of the monthly calendars laid across the stage and then put your name on the day you wanted. As you can tell, the earlier your name was drawn in the process, the better your chance at getting the date you wanted. The better the chance was for getting the date you wanted. So as I sat in my seat with everyone else, laughing with friends and talking, distracted and not really paying attention to the names of my classmates that were being read slowly one by one, after about 20 minutes, I realized that the number of students still sitting waiting to be called was pretty small. A couple minutes later, guess who was the only person sitting? Me. Really? Was this actually a joke? The chief advisor, Miss C, who was also my advisor, saw my name on the last slip of paper and just started laughing. She knew. She knew how ridiculous this was. She knew that this would only happen to me. I mentioned that not being selected as an Edith Hamilton scholar was the icing on top of the cake. Well, now having practically zero choice over when I got to give my convocation was the sprinkles, candles, and those gross little frosting flowers on top of the icing, all wrapped in one. Don't worry. Today I'm really happy about giving my convocation on this day. It took me some time to realize it, but it actually turned out to be the perfect day. It's a Friday, so hopefully all of you are in a marginally better mood than you would be on another weekday, which I'm assuming would have an effect on how you receive my speech. The ice hockey team has our first game today, and I'm really excited for that. Plus it's December, so I get to wear my winter uniform while presenting this, which, as pathetic as it is, actually played a major part in whether or not I would be content with my convocation date. As you can see, I know what I am talking about when it comes to failing, being rejected, and simply having horrible luck. I am no stranger to failing multiple times, so please listen to me when I say this. Go after what you want. I'm an example of the worst case scenario, when you don't win anything. Honestly, what is the chance of this happening? I would tell you the actual chance, but I dropped math this year for a reason. Seriously though, listen to me standing up here before you, listing the countless times I have failed. I have still had an incredible time at Bryn Mawr. Even considering how many experiences I have not been fortunate enough to have, I am still lucky and grateful to have had so many other opportunities. By listing my failures and giving my convocation on this topic, I am not in any way trying to belittle how grateful I am for everything I've had the chance to do at Bryn Mawr. At the same time though, I do not allow all the opportunities I have had, like being a peer educator, being a member of the Quill, playing on the varsity ice hockey team, and having a role in the musical, to belittle my failures. I realize that it is important to keep things in perspective, and in some ways to compartmentalize each activity. I do not think the fact that I was voted to be a captain of the hockey team makes up for the fact that I lost the election last year. It is important for me to remember that they are two different, unrelated opportunities to either fail or succeed, and the success of one does not negate the failure of the other. Do not be afraid to fail. I promise you it won't kill you. The embarrassment, the sadness, the disappointment in yourself, the tears you sometimes just can't hold back, those are all painful and horrible. I can honestly tell you, though, that I don't have any regrets. Yes, I wish I had had the opportunity to be a member of SGA at least 1 year in high school. But the fact that I didn't is not my fault. I did everything I could to make it happen, and because of that, I can never be mad at myself. What I'm trying to say is, don't let anything or anybody stop you. If you truly want something, and if receiving it will make you happy, go after that thing as best you can. Let the good possible outcomes be what sway you towards taking a risk, not what might happen if it doesn't go your way. There's a good chance that you will actually succeed. Clearly, there's also a very good chance that you won't. But if you let that keep you from going after what you want, you will probably end up being more disappointed in yourself than you would be if you had actually lost. As my time here is almost up, both the time of my convocation and my time at Bryn Mawr, listen to this if you won't listen to anything else. Go after what you want. Try different things because you might find something you really love. Don't be afraid of failure. Eventually, in some way, you will succeed. That is a promise. Get everything you can out of Bryn Mawr. Look around and realize all the opportunities we have here that we can experience. Take the most from it. Enjoy your time here, enjoy Bryn Mawr, enjoy this weekend, and enjoy lunch.